Favour.
Hi Clashers, Bosonic from Spartans with a follow-up guide on funneling ground troops, this time looking at Town Hall 9 against Town Hall 10s. So starting with this quite high level Town Hall 10, but it's got single infernos that are pretty badly positioned, so I'm going to try to take advantage of that. I'm going to go in with a mix of giants and valkyries and wizards, so all fairly small troops, which means the single target infernos won't do them a huge amount of damage. My goal is to go in through the east side and push straight through, kill the Archer Queen quickly and push into the core, and I've got some minions for clearing out outside buildings for percentage. I'm going to start with Clan Castle Lure with just 2 giants, and it's a clean-up attack, so I know it's got wizards and witches, so just going to kill those with poison. And then start my main attack from the east. I'm going to send in 2 golems, 1 on each cannon, and then I'm going to send in a few wizards to clear out some of the buildings to create my funnel. I don't want to kill the buildings that are right in the east corner, because those are going to help pull my troops in, but I want to kill the buildings next to them so that my troops won't start wandering around the sides of the base. I'm going to send a second wizard onto the elixir storage, since that's slightly higher HP than the other buildings. And then basically once all that's done, it's a case of sending everyone. Got a couple of wall breakers to let me in, and a jump spell to let me through the core. And then basically just sending in giants, valkyries, wizards, and my heroes all behind them. Hopefully that should do it. I've got a few heals and a raid to help them stay up, and then I've got minions and a few archers to clear up on the outsides. So let's see how it went. So I just start with my Clan Castle Lure and send in my 2 giants. And it doesn't quite work out perfect. I end up with the Clan Castle troops coming out a bit too spread out. And I decided basically it wasn't the end of the world. I made sure I got my poison on the witch, which meant that I think there was like 2 or 3 archers and a wizard which didn't get killed by the poison spell. But I just kind of decided it wasn't going to do me too much harm. They're just going to do a bit of damage to the golem. And the golems, once they get targeted by the single target infernos, they're going to go down anyway. So they were mainly just tanking for the early part of the attack, so I wasn't too worried about losing a bit of health on those. So my wizards have come in, and they've created my funnel quite nicely. So now I'm just sending in my giants, my valkyries, my heroes, and everything's gone right into the main part of the base, which is what I was aiming for. And I've got a jump and a heal down to keep them alive. I was kind of left the wizards a bit late, so 2 of them wandered around the outside. It didn't actually do too much harm, but I could have done with holding back 1 or 2 of those, maybe a giant as well, for percentage at the end. So now everything's sort of charged through pretty much into the core now, and it's pretty comfortable. It's cleaned out the core really easily. And Archer Queen's currently untouched, but is about to get targeted by their single target Inferno, so going to have to use her ability fairly quick. And she gets the Inferno down, she narrowly misses that cannon, which is a bit of a shame. So I ended up 1 building short. 1 more shot from the Queen, or a higher level Queen, I'd have been fine. And I still got sort of stuff banging on walls, so I think I sent in a few too many troops really. So now I'm a bit short on troops for cleaning up the percentage, and the minions are going to do some good work. There's quite a few exposed buildings in the northwest corner, and I get an archer on the Dark Spell Factory, so that's going to go down. And I get to a point where I think I end up on, right, so I get this builder's hut and I end up on 47%, and I'm kind of wondering whether or not it's going to go to 49 or 48%. And so I waited a bit too long. As it turns out, I could have killed it with that minion at the end, but I was waiting to sort of find out whether I needed 1 building or 2, which should have just gone in. There were other buildings I could have taken with the archer, so it was a bit of a waste really. That could have been done. So let's look at this one. A slightly easier base. This was my second attack. Well, slightly easier, I say easier, I mean, slightly lower level, but it's got multi-target infernos rather than single target. So I just go in with a standard GoWiPe here. I take 4 golems and 3 P.E.K.K.A.s. They're just very tanky. They're going to take a lot of damage from those infernos, and they're going to keep them off my wizards and my heroes for long enough, hopefully. I'm going to go in through the east again, and it's a pretty easy funnel. I can just take down the 2 army camps in the east and the Barbarian King's plinth, and then the funnel's pretty much sorted. The buildings on the outside will help pull my troops in. I'm going to use 4 earthquake spells to just blast open those walls, and the base is pretty much open then, and it's just a case of whether my Pekkers get in time. I'm obviously going to start with the Clan Castle Law. Again, it's little troops, so let's see how it goes. Just 1 archer basically pulls out the whole clan castle, and poison kills them all, so that goes nicely. And then I think I set off a little minion in the south corner, which might be hard to see, but I just kind of figured there's quite a few exposed buildings there, so I figured let him start working on them while everything else is going on. And then drop my earthquake spells, and you can get a 6x6 square with earthquake, and so in this base it just tears it open. I mean, there's so much of the base is open now. It's just a case of getting everything in, really. So I drop my wizards behind my golems. The first one in the northeast sets off a bomb, so just drop another one. And the enemy Barbarian King got attracted to the golem, so we've taken him out. Basically sent in everything, and everything's pretty much gone in. We've got a few wizards on the outside. I think most of those come in too. And then a rage just to speed everything up. And at this point everything's sort of going around the sides of the core, but that's fine, everything's still up. The infernos are mainly targeting golems, so not doing too much damage. And now everything's going into the core. And Archer Queen currently pretty much untouched, so we're clearly going to get the town hall down. And in fact, we've still got 2 Pekkers up, and they're going to clear out that core. And we're already up to sort of 45-46%, and there's loads of exposed buildings, so this one's gone pretty smoothly. I'm going to take out the elixir storage, gold storage, that barracks with the minion in the south. I think he also gets that cannon. And there's stuff in the west corner that I think an archer and minion takes out. And there's stuff up in the north as well, which I think we end up getting to about 60% on this one. It's always worth saving a few troops. And I think generally I'd say save like a giant and a couple of wizards, because they can take out a few buildings. And minions are always useful because sometimes they'll be buildings protected by ground but not by air. So let's look at one more, and this is Anna hitting their number 10 base. Again, 2 multi-targeting infernos. A very compact base, but lots of stuff on the outside here, so it's quite a hard funnel to create. So he's sent in a few golems, and he's got wizards behind, and he's just sort of letting the golems take the damage while the wizards build the funnel. So it's a nice patient build up here. And now he's going to wait till the elixir storages go down, and then he's got a nice easy route into the core now. So he puts in 1 jump, sends in his Pekkers, sends in his wizards, and they all head straight in towards the base. And when this mortar goes down, a few of the wizards turn away, so maybe would have been better off holding back a few of the wizards in the end, but everything else has gone into the core, and it's hard to tell what's going on in these, but he's got enough up basically, and Town Hall goes down. He's still got at least 1 Pekker up, a few wizards. He sent in a Barb King there, and everything was done basically, so it didn't really achieve much. So he might have actually been better off holding back his Barb King to help with the cleanup round the sides. So he's on 46%, and it's basically just the Queen now, but just about has enough. And yeah, so the cannon's on the Queen, but the Queen's going to win the race, and a nice 50% 2-star Town Hall 9 against Town Hall 10. Hope that was useful. That's it. Thanks for watching.